Hello, YouTube fans, here again. And why not talk about this one? Classic, that being the Mummy. The Mummy, the, the 1999, the Mummy. I was got mixed up with there then. The 1999, the Mummy. Now, this one has to be my favourite. Now, we all know over the years there have been so many mummy films, from the classic 1932 Mummy to the classic 1959 The Mummy, some from the 30s, some from the 40s. The list goes on. The list goes on. But this one has to be my favourite one because what they've done is they've got a remake from the 1932 one, which I admit I've seen, and they've basically made it an adventure film, sort of like the film of King Solomon's Mine, whether it be like the Indiana Jones films, whether it be anything like that. And they've basically made this film. They've made this film its own movie. I say it again. They've made this film its own bladding film. So I like this film because it's an adventure feel. It has a bit of horror in it. I say it's more adventure. In all fairness, right, I like some of the old classic B monster films from the 30s, whether it be Ben Gedultis Dracula, whether it be the original 1931 Frankenstein or Bride of Frankenstein, The Wolfman, all these sort of films, that my dog barking, all them sort of films I like. But I was never a lover of the original 1932 The Mummy. I don't know. I just thought it was boring. It was slow. The best bit was the bit where you see the mummy with all the bandages. But that's one bit. The rest of it is a die. He's dying to take over the world. Has a stupid ending. Yeah, I know for 1932, you're not going to see a lot of blood. You'll see a lot of gore. But I always felt the other mummy films from the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, and so on were a lot better than the original The Mummy. Wrap me up. I really do. So the 99 one is more of an adventure film. Let's go with the bloody film. So you got a date opening, a bit of an adventure feel. You got this one guy, a bit like an Indiana Jones character. You got a dude who's sort of like a librarian, and they all team up to find this special book. And it's also a bit of the history of how the mummy got to be the mummy. And if you've ever seen the 30th one or the 59 one when Christopher Lee played the character, you get it. So he's this guy, he breaks in to save a woman, the woman sacrifices herself. Before that, it's to sacrifice the king. You put it in a saddle so you don't see it, but you got the idea they kill the king. He gets captured, has his Kong removed, they wrap him up, they put bugs on him, you get the rest. But this thing brings him back. He eats the flesh of someone, that makes it really daring what it is. And then he becomes back to that person. I like it because I say it has a lot of horror in it. These people resurrect it and the ring comes out. There's a bit of CGI and there's a little bit of practical. You know what I think of CGI, but in this sort of film, I think it went. It went and had that fencer feel, had a great bit of music in it. It goes without going too far. There's a lot of deleted scenes, like in most films, and there are some bits of this was in the film. Like there's a bit where the characters are walking through, and there's all these dead corpses, which sad to say was deleted out of the film. As well as a lot of other scenes, and I thought it was the same really. It was the same because I would have loved to have seen that in the movie. I'd love to have seen it in the film. But it is what it is. It's what it is. So without ado, um, yeah, I don't mind the film for what it is. And you know what I mean? I actually like that one. I like the mummy. I think it's a good defensive feel. I like the bit where the wind's chasing the main character, and then you got the saddle on the face of the mummy, all winded, was actually the original poster of the film. I like the bit where he's in finding the airplanes, and this was a good film for '99. This was a good film because it was this into seeing a good adventure, down to the wall, adventure feel sort of film. We got a B movie, monster movie, and they turned it into an adventure film. That's how I see it. They turned a monster film into an adventure film. So to me, this is how you do a remake. I'll say it again. This is how you do a remake the right way. That's why I was not a lover of the one with Tom Cruise. Wrap me up, turn me into a mummy. I was not a lover of it. It was just a remake of if I can remember the film, Life Force. I could forget that. Duh. If you remember the film called Life Force, I remember saying this before. That is all the fucking mummy, the one with Tom Cruise was. It's a remake of Life Force. But in my eyes, Life Force is a better film. It's a better film. So they're going to tombs. I love the idea that every tomb has a trap in it. And there's a bit where dive. Remember right there, the dive guy to get something and he uses his hand. Definitely has that horror feel to it. There's a bit where the mummy's fighting with our main character. He gets the better of him and he pushes him over and he gets burnt. And no, I don't think it burnt. Don't lie. He falls into this black slime and it sucks him up and then takes him away. Then he gets the dirt, the tombs fall into pieces, gets out of Dodds, snogs the dirt, happy ending. And I like that. I like the Buccaneer, it's that old school sort of adventure feel. And it's all like them serial comic adventure films, you know, the sort of things like inspired Indiana Jones or King Solomon's Mind and them sort of films. It's an adventure film. It's an adventure feel. And it's one of them, I miss films like that. To me, these are films I think Hollywood should make today. I say it again, should make, because it's like I keep repeating myself. They've got a typical B monster film from the 30s and they turned it into an adventure film. They turned this hand on heart into a Buccaneer, down to wall adventure film. I like the tunes in it. I like the bits where the tunes are tapping people and people getting killed. I like those big spear monster things, what I like dimps. If you remember anything you see in Tombs, the Egyptian dimps, there's a bit where they come out and they're spearing people and killing people. I like that. I like one of the main characters. She starts to act like a superhero and he gets killed. It's like I say, you get one dies a bit deeder and he puts his hand in something and it taps his hand and it basically destroys his hand. No fucking about. I love that feel to it. So that's what I mean. This is, to me, is a Buccaneer adventure film. Now, you've got the librarian, you've got the buffer. I thought the buffer was a bit annoying, but you got to like him as the film goes on. And there's a bit where it's raining fireballs at people, it's raining bugs. I like that feel to it. That means there's a bit of horror in it. You've got this one guy, this poor guy lost his eyes because he went into one of the tombs. He's run off. And then the mummy gets him, and the guy says, "No, he wants to suck your face, he wants to suck this," and you definitely get that horror feel to it, which definitely puts a chill to you. That's what I mean. I like the mummy, the 99 mummy. I like, and I keep repeating it. This to me is how you do an adventure film the right way. This is how you do an adventure film the right way. That's how I see it. It's how you do an adventure film the right fucking way. So yeah, I like the mummy. Without ado, I like the mummy. I like the mummy that much. I enjoy the mummy. The mummy to me is how you do a remake the right fucking way. And it's like I keep repeating myself. I wouldn't have loved the 1932 one. I respect it. But compared to other old monster films from the 30s, it'd have to be Ben Bidot's Dracula, it'd have to be the original Frankenstein, the Wolfman, or maybe the other mummy films from the 30s and 40s. Even the one with Christopher Lee I prefer to the original 32 Mummy. Because you very rarely saw the mummy in it, you saw it a little bit, and then halfway through the film, it's a die, trying to get this fucking princess, has a stupid ending. This one, I felt this one had a better feel. It had an offensive feel to it. It was down. It was dirty. Had that Indiana Jones feel to it. The CGI was done the right way. It went with the film. I like the fact it's based on Egypt, but it's based on the olden times. Has that serial comic feel to it. What can I say? The Mummy for that. An 8-star rating for me. Put into them. Be smart. Be safe. See you later.